Welcome to Travel Chicks, where we talk travel, transformation, and inspiration. My name's Melissa. I'm the founder of Travel Chicks, and I want to let you know that it may be me, it may be one of our other travel chicks, but welcome on board this adventure. Please, if you love what you hear, like it. Leave a review and share this with your friends. We need to inspire more people to create their own travel story. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a lot of, hey Scott, so nice to see you again. I've been feeling a lot of anxiety. And if you're tapped into the cosmos, if you've seen on all over social media, hey Deidre, oh, so nice to see you. If you've been listening all over social media, there is like such strong, RJ, good morning, Melissa. We got to stop meeting like this. Yeah, I know. You got to come to Alberta, or maybe I have to go to Vancouver. There's been like this really intense energy happening, and I know Mercury is in retrograde. I don't even know when it gets out, but I can tell you, even myself, I have been feeling these really anxious feelings. And what I think is something powerful for you is to learn to just be okay with those anxious feelings, to not get bent out of shape, and to really just allow your body to feel it. Because I know many people that I've worked with, what happens over the years when our bodies become stressed or we become anxious is that we tend to just kind of bottle those feelings up, and we bottle them up and we bottle them up. And what happens, 6 planets are in retrograde right now. Oh my God. Okay, so that totally makes sense. So we bottle these feelings up, and then what happens inside our body is these emotions get stored at cellular levels. So what happens then with your body moving forward is that a little thing like somebody not picking up their dishes in the kitchen, or not taking the garbage out, like these little small things, they set people off. And I know in a lot of my coaching calls with clients before, hi Jeff, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, yeah, holy crap. Hey Melissa, nice touch on a very important social topic. Yes. So what happens is when our bodies store these emotions at a cellular level, these little things can set us off. And we may not even be aware of these things that are occurring, but then we just blow up. And so how the heck do you deal with these anxious feelings? I know for myself, I listen to music or guided meditations. And if you have no clue where to start, just jump onto YouTube. I every day listen to a meditation, whether it's guided or just music with no words, and I make it a non-negotiable in my life. Yes, RJ, and it's like, remember to breathe. So I got to be honest with you all this morning. This morning, my anxiety felt like really, I could feel it in my stomach. And truthfully, I felt like I wanted to cry, and I haven't. So maybe after this Facebook Live, I will go and have a nice cry session. But it's just so important to acknowledge our feelings and to not bottle them up deep down inside, because little things and little triggers will set you off, and you don't want this to happen. And one of the things that I was going to share earlier is when I've been working with clients in the past, and we talk about emotions and getting stored at a cellular level, it is no wonder why we're having like terrorist attacks and stuff. Oh, okay, I see. It's because these people's emotions are stored at such a cellular level, and so you don't want this to be you. You want to acknowledge your feelings, just allow your body to feel these tense, anxious emotions and let it go. Listen to some meditation music. And the key is to ground yourself. And there's so many ways that we can ground ourselves. We can do it through journaling. We can do it through getting out into nature. Hi, Lena. Good morning. And it's just allowing your body to feel these emotions, move through it. Don't bottle them up deep down inside, because one day something is going to set you off and you're going to do something that you may not have normally done. So I just felt like I was supposed to share this message with you today, because I am feeling the anxious feelings, and I never even knew there was 6 planets in retrograde right now. That is insane. I feel, oh, I don't have my cards here. I was going to, oh, where did Nicole go? Here, let's try. Bring Nicole Montez on camera. Yes. Okay, Nicole, if you hear me right now, I am trying to add you. So we should be having you come on. Oh, I hear. Awesome.
Yay!
It worked. Okay, so I came on early this morning because I just felt like I had to talk about these anxious feelings that many people are experiencing on the planet right now. And some of the people who are tuned in right now just brought to my awareness that 6 planets are in retrograde right now, which is insane. I didn't even know there was 6 planets in retrograde. Okay, so there you go. I got this all out. Now I am super excited to welcome our special guest today, and her name is Nicole Montez. Now, a little bit of background. I have been following Nicole on Instagram, and I really felt like reaching out to her because I truly believe what she is taking a stand for, and especially when it comes to women. I actually wrote some notes here so I wouldn't forget. So Nicole, she inspires women to live brave, fearless, and free. Now, what's even more fascinating is one of her values is give grace. And Nicole, you probably have no idea, but my daughter's name is Patience Grace. And so I felt there was just synchronicity in what you're doing. The value of grace is something that is still unfolding in my daughter and my life. And you have a little ginger daughter as well. And so I was like, oh my God, we both have little ginger daughters. And so, you know what? Without further ado, I want to welcome Nicole to the Travel Talk Show. So as you guys know, I have like 5 questions that I love asking. So the first question is, who the heck are you and what are you up to in the world?
I love it. I love what you're doing. And Melissa, I'm excited that we connected on Instagram and have gingers in our lives. I love that. I am so obsessed with helping women and empowering women to live brave, fearless, and free, and be their true selves, their authentic selves, embracing everything that's happened in their lives. And typically to me, that means embracing adversity, embracing the things that happen. And when life changes, like on a dime, in an instant, it's embracing those things, trusting that journey, allowing us to be brave enough to dive in, fearless enough to have faith that we are being guided correctly, and free to be who we are, free to not be, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I know a lot of women out there are in that same boat. And, you know, and Melissa, the funny thing is I tell people, I try to be perfect at recovering from perfectionism. So it's like a full cycle. It's something I have to look at every day. But I find a lot of us women are in that, and especially moms are in that, you know, that group where we're trying to do that. And we're really trying to fit this mold. So obsessed with helping women and working with women.
Yeah, and I get that. Thank you for sharing. And you know, I think it's actually really powerful if you are open to sharing a little bit of your story, because I know kind of what you've gone through, and I'm assuming that your daughter has been the one that's given you a lot of inspiration. And so for everyone tuning in right now, if you have no freaking clue who Nicole is, I would love if you could just give a little backstory of how you got to
Absolutely.
what you're doing today, because I think it's really powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. My gosh, I'm a mom of two girls. My girls are 17 and 13. And when I was 25 years old, I unexpectedly got pregnant. I was 6 weeks away from like our big wedding and the big to-do. And I found out in an office bathroom at my work that I was pregnant. And it was a disruption in my life. As I came to terms with it over those 9 months, I began to think this is God's plan. This is what, is designed for me. And 2 weeks after Allie was born, my Ginger, the doctors called and said something was wrong. And gosh, in that moment, my world stopped. One, because this wasn't part of my plan, and I'm a planner. A lot of us are planners. We think we're in control. But when the doctors diagnosed her with a genetic disease called cystic fibrosis, she was 2 weeks. And, long story short, the diagnosis was grim. 17 years ago, there wasn't the advances in medicine there is today. Still, the life expectancy now is about 41 years of age. I'm 42. So wow. Terrifying. But the doctor said she had about a 50% chance of surviving childhood. She may or may not be able to be active in sports. The amount of money to give her a good quality of life was, unheard of. And I found myself, at a crossroads of becoming a victim to that situation. And what I realized was she would become a victim of her situation if I did. And I had to lead her and somehow figure out how to, pick myself off the floor and do this and, give her a good quality of life, knowing our circumstances could change tomorrow. And that's still the case. She's healthy. She's training to be a professional dancer in New York City. She'll be a senior. She starts school tomorrow. But, things can change tomorrow. And for us, that's given us a lot of faith. With that being said, I was in corporate America. I was one of those that loved corporate America. I loved climbing the ladder, and that changed with the diagnosis. So I came home and desperately was searching for something to do from home, and finally found myself in network marketing and worked primarily with moms. Ended up climbing the ladder pretty quick. And there's a good thing to be said by that. I retired, my then husband, it was amazing, but I will tell you this, I chose to kind of dive into the workforce at home and really didn't give myself a chance to process what was happening. So that has challenged me through the past 17 years. About 6 years ago, I lost my father the day after my birthday, December 27th, to suicide. And life-changing in every way. My dad suffered with anxiety and depression, and he was tortured in many ways his whole life. And I watched him fight through that. And when he died, and I lost him that way, it really made me come to terms with some things that I had been neglecting. I really had to learn a different way of coping. And that inspired me to create the BFF Life, which stands for Brave, Fearless, and Free Living, really for women. And that's my backstory.
Wow. I like this is just so crazy, because before you even got on to the Facebook Live right now, I was just talking about these anxious feelings and how you want to acknowledge them and allow them to just kind of flow through you. Otherwise, these emotions, just like you shared just right now, these emotions, if we don't deal with them, we just bury them. And it gets buried at such a deep cellular level that, you know what? The only way out is to cut life.
It is. And it manifests in anxiety and depression and eating and busyness. That was my drug of choice. Busyness. And busyness is tough. It's a sexy excuse. You know, it looks productive. It looks perfect. But you know, Melissa, one of the things that I teach women is feelings. If you express them, even saying them out loud, I'm teaching my daughters this because I want them to grow up where they can express their feelings. They can be vulnerable, but still be strong. Feelings pass within 90 seconds if you express them. So we talk a lot about, this is new in our house, by the way, the last year, we talk about feelings. How are you feeling right now? My 13-year-old and I had a disagreement. We seem to disagree in the car for some reason, that those things come up. And I knew she was really mad at me. And I said to her, I said, you know, Izzy, what are you feeling? Nothing. No, what are you feeling? And it was a question I wished I was asked when I was growing up, instead of kind of having to bury and stuff and act like everything was okay all the time. And she finally said, I'm feeling angry. If you express, like right now, if you say, I'm feeling anxious and I'm feeling terrified and I'm feeling frustrated, once you say those, typically anyway, I wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And I thank you for sharing your story, because I think this really gives some context to all the listeners right now. And of course, for all the people in the replay, because at the end of the day, all of us, no matter where we are in life, have some sort of challenges or shitty circumstances or things that are thrown our way that it's like so hard to even imagine, but we got to go through them. And so that leads me to my second question of what was like your biggest challenge and how were you able to get through it?
That's a good question, because I would have given you a different answer a year ago. A year ago, I would have said, you know, Allie's diagnosis. And then I would have said my father's, you know, losing my father, and then other things that I've had happen in my life recently. My biggest challenge was coming face to face with what was holding me back. My biggest challenge was coming face to face with destructive patterns that I have had in my life that kept me from true inner joy and true happiness, by pretending everything was perfect and by pretending, you know, Allie's going to be fine and we can do this and my dad is okay. And it was this performance that I did to survive. And coming to terms, I think true brave is looking in the mirror and saying, these patterns aren't working for me anymore. They're holding me back. I'm selling my soul. I am not being my true self. That has been my biggest challenge. That's my current biggest challenge.
And I think so many people, whether you're a male or female, can totally relate to this idea of a performance. What are you performing in your life? Here's an opportunity for you to face that performance head on and go through it. Go through it, because what's on the other side, you have no idea. But I'm sure it's a heck of a lot better than you laying your head down at night, wishing and praying and whatever else you do.
And pretending. And it's free. Freedom comes from addressing those things. And really, again, it comes from looking in the mirror and saying, this isn't working for me. And being willing to have that fearless faith that whatever is unknown, by you going there, is going to be okay.
I love it. Cool. So another question I have, you said, well, clearly you're a mom. How the hell do you balance? And I'm not even really enjoying this word balance, because I think being a parent, we can never have balance. What I believe is that we can have flow. And so if I reword that question,
Love it.
How do you find flow trying to manage kids, a busy schedule, you know, being a mom, and a business?
I used to strive for balance. I used to hear that word. And, when you look up balance in the dictionary, it means steady. And I want to be anything but steady. I want to flow, but I want to grow at the same time. And I think growing is hard to do when you're balanced and steady. So,
Oh, just hang on. Mhm.
um, it, I think sometimes we put things on hold, like I'm going to wait until things calm down here, or I'll do it when I'm not so busy, or this is just a time.
Oh, hang on, hang on.
Are we okay?
Hang on. Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. Say that last thought. Because it was like really cutting in and out.
Yeah, I see that, and I'm not sure. It looks like I'm connected pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Embrace the chaos. Truly um, embrace the mess. It's part of you. I realized that I wanted my girls to watch me hold myself together in the chaos versus pretend it was all perfect and try to be balanced. So embrace it.
Yeah. I love that. Now, another question I have, because two things I'm super passionate about in life are people and travel. And so a question I have is, do you believe that travel is important in one's life?
Yes. And I'm going to take it a step further. I think the ability to travel alone is important in one's life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love travel. I'm with you. I love experiencing different cultures and different places, different people. Um, I think we reinvent ourselves every time we're somewhere else and find new parts of ourselves, but also embracing the travel alone and learning that you got you and you can be safe and whole no matter where you are. I think that's an important part of traveling. And I love
Mm-hmm.
to travel alone, but I
Yep.
love to travel with people too. So yes, absolutely. Seeing new places. Um, I love the ocean. I think the water is healing and calming and um,
Oh, say that again. You know a lot of people that what? Yeah, totally. So this this like oh, I can hear you kind of right now. It's so weird. It's like it's kind of going in and out. Um like I can see me clearly, but you're like a little bit sort of pixelated. Crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna try and ask the last question I have, and hope Lost her audio at the ocean being healing and calming. I haven't heard anything since. Yeah, I don't know if maybe, oh, I think she left. Okay, maybe she'll log back on again. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Gonna see. Okay, we'll try this again. Add.
Yay!
Okay.
Better.
Oh, that is like crystal clear.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, it's the office revamp is throwing everything off with wireless. So I'm holding it, but hopefully it's okay.
yeah, no, that's fine. So the last question I have is, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given? And what is the best piece of advice you can give others who are listening?
Ooh, oh my gosh, I feel like I could give so many pieces of advice that I've gotten. The best piece of advice that I've gotten is do the work. Do the work. That was the best piece. And that doesn't mean do the work financially. That doesn't mean do your business. That means do the work. Look within. What's holding you back? What are you afraid? What closet are you afraid to open? What cabinet are you afraid if you open it, all the china is going to come barreling out because you've been holding it in so long? Do the work. Do the work to grow. Read. Look at your circle of influence. My circle, everybody in my close circle can teach me something. They're better at me than at something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crucial. So do the work. Even if you think you've done the work, you haven't done the work. Because life, if we're green, we're growing. If we are ripe, we're rotten. And we never arrive. Do the work. The best piece of advice I could give is you're right where you're supposed to be right now. That's the best piece of advice I could give. The good, there is no bad, but the stuff you wish would change, your journey, the people you're surrounded by, you are right where you are supposed to be right now. What's going well, what isn't. Trust that. Trust all will be revealed. Trust that you have yourself. No matter what happens, it's not dependent on other people. It's dependent on you. And that includes family and spouses and kids. You got this. And you're right where you're supposed to be. So live today like that. If it doesn't work out, try again tomorrow. If you have to show up on Facebook Live with a crazy office, holding the phone, disconnecting a few times, show up. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's okay.
Totally. And I hear that so loud and clear. Like last night, I had to lay with my toddler in the living room because I had to carpet clean her room because there was stuff all over the floor. So I laid with her and she woke up from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. this morning. And I was like, like this day, I don't even feel like doing anything on top of those anxious emotions that I'm feeling today. But it's like, you know what? You get 1 point for showing up no matter what has happened. And so, yeah, it's if it doesn't work today, try again tomorrow. Showing up. I mean, there's that famous quote. It's like 80% of success is just showing up. Period.
Totally.
You're already ahead of the game. So it doesn't matter what's happened or what's about to happen. It's like just show up in your life. So I love that. Now, for anybody listening to our live or the replay, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
My handle on, Facebook, on Instagram, those are my two favorites. Just Nicole K Montez. And NicoleKMontez.com is a lot of other resources.
Perfect. So, Nicole, thank you so much for taking this time today. And yeah, this is just the beginning.
It is. And sorry about all the technical. It worked out just as it was supposed to.
Totally. It's all good. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Nicole, have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you.